Hello everybody, I am here at work today, a very long day, 12-hour day for me, and I wanted to just share with you how I prepare for my crazy busy days. When I work, I don't take a lot of breaks, so I'm usually back to back, and it might be a 9, 10, 12-hour day. I make sure I bring some snacks from home. That's really important, and that might be some almonds. I'll usually bring a banana and maybe a couple of different bars that I like to eat throughout the day. I might bring a bagel. I like cheese. I can have some Swiss cheese and just something that I can wrap and have here throughout the day. Sometimes I feel if I don't eat every few hours, I start to not feel great, so I try to make sure I'm putting something, some food into my mouth at least every 2 or 3 hours, just even if it's a bite or two. So I usually like to get to work about 10 or 15 minutes earlier before my client, and that way I'm arriving in my room, I can prepare my towels, and I just want to show you my towel closet and just how I like to have everything ready. I like to have everything in my room ready to go so that, once I finished another client, I don't have to run around too much. Where I do work here at the moment, it's quite a large spa, so there's quite a lot of walking if that needed to be the case, but I do like to prepare, have everything ready to go. And this is what I have in my cupboards over here. So my first cupboard here has my towels. These are my larger towels, these ones here, which I'll often put across the décolleté to keep the shoulders warm if needed. And then I also have these are my diapers. I use washcloths or I use diapers on the face, but I'm liking more and more, especially the diapers, because they're very thin. And these ones here, we just get them from Universal. They're very light in, they hold, not a bunch of water, so they're not that heavy. I can stack an abundance of them in my hot cabbie, which is really great when you have a busy day because I'm not having to wet towels and stock it as I go. But I really like working with diapers. They don't hold heat for a long time, but I like to work with them because they're not sort of bulky and scratchy, and so I do like the diapers, as I said, from Universal. And then down the end here I've got my washcloths, which sometimes I find myself having to use, and I'll use a couple of those as you've seen in previous videos. In the other cupboard over here I've got my gloves. I have different kinds of gloves because depending on how I'm feeling and with certain skin types, if I'm doing extractions, there is a certain glove that I would maybe prefer over another one, so I like to have a couple of different ones. Here I've got my sheets all ready for my bed. I have 2 sheets on my bed. Sometimes I'll use a drape sheet over the bottom sheet on my table, depending on how I'm working for that day. And then down the bottom here, at the top here we've got masks, but you can see everything's labelled, which of course, is really important by State Board. Really important. So now over here I have my hot cabbie down the bottom here. I've got a sterilizer, I've got my quartz down the bottom. Once my utensils have been cleaned and washed, they're dried, and then I'll keep them in the sterilizer up the top here to be used. Things like eye goggles or tweezers or scissors and things like that. Once they've been cleaned, they remain in here for the moment. And that's my cupboards. So I have everything stocked, ready to go. I did want to talk to you also about just the clients that I'm getting in. It's, we're in August right now. It has been a really, really hot summer. I was away in Sardinia. It was super duper hot. A lot of my clients that travel, they're traveling internationally, or just here in LA, it's just been a really hot summer, and I'm just finding more and more that everyone's so dry. So a client I had in earlier this morning has been having regular facials, and she's just really dry. She's been using a foaming cleanser, And I don't understand, you know, if you have clients with dry skin, why are they using a foaming cleanser? So this was the first time I had seen her, and she said she's been having regular facials, but she's so dry. So anybody who's surface dry, please don't use foaming cleansers. They're just not good for your skin, okay? So change that out, and then you're going to find everything's going to be better absorbed. The skin is just going to be better. It's going to look better. So please do that. So that is with the dryness. And the other thing is just layering, just layer your serums. You know, it's so important to layer serums on your skin, then put your moisturizer on. So, you know, when you're feeling dry and, you know, it feels like nothing's working, it's because you've got to, number one, you've got to start with a really good supple slate. So make sure your cleanser's right. And then number two, you got to start layering in your serums. And sometimes now, which I wasn't doing years ago, but now I'm telling people, please layer your serums and do a couple of coats. You know, don't just do one coat of serum, just layer, put a couple of coats on, then put your moisturizer on. And for this, and then of course your sunblock. So as I said, I'm just finding people are really, really dry. The sun is more intense than I've ever known it to be. I come from a country where we have the highest skin cancer rate in the world, which obviously is in Queensland, Australia. And I find that it's really hard to keep out of the sun. So, you know, clothing, long sleeves, when you're driving, cover your hands, protect your neck when you're driving, you know, get that light scarf that has the SPF in it, and, you know, use it in the car so that you're really protecting this area, because this is a really hard area to treat once it starts to age. The face, you can lift, tuck, do a bunch of things. The neck and the décolleté, are thinner skin, and it requires, you can't be doing too much to it because it is too thin. I mean, you know, maybe an IPL, a photofacial might help with some ruddiness and brown, but you're going to have to be doing it so regularly. So just cover up, protect it when you're driving. That sun pelts in, it hits this area. Layer with your sunscreens, and I just can't say it enough. And I know I'm driving you all crazy because I'm saying it over and over again, but keep the skin soft and supple, protect it, layer it. You know, start wearing a light makeup on your skin if you're feeling, you know, that your skin is still really dry and you're freckly or whatever's going on, but start wearing a light makeup. There are so many great ones out there. I talk about, and I use one that is a Color Science brand. It's called Even Up. It's an SPF 50. It's very light on the skin. I use it when I'm not wearing a lot of makeup because some days I just am not wearing makeup and I don't want to have a mask-like foundation on my skin. So on those days, I'm going to use Even Up, which is a Color Science brand. It's very light on the skin. It's a very light cream, but it doesn't feel thick and heavy. So it's a really good one, and I recommend it to a lot of my clients to use. And minerals are great, you know, because it's healing and you can work out with it on and sweat and know that it's not, you know, clogging your pores. So that's super important. So layer more. I mean, layer. Don't forget about the eye area. I talk a lot about this too. You know, everyone's drier. Their body's drier. Like, you know, use treatment product on your body. Use a good body moisturizer. And don't have long showers and don't have them too hot because water is really drying on the skin. A shower, unless you have some special filter on your shower that takes a lot of the bad out of the water. So, but don't have really long showers, and you know, keep it the same with bathing. If you're bathing, you know, you need to have oils and things in your bath water just to keep your skin really hydrated, because you know, it's harder now than it was years ago. Just the environment is tougher. And you know, the sun is tough. It's just really hard to keep out of the, you know, the external influences that are out there that really dry and age our skin. So just try really hard, protect your skin, keep it hydrated, and everywhere, you know. Don't forget about your ears. Using sunscreen on your ears is super important. Protect your neck, and just do the best you can with that, because it's super important. It just makes your life so much easier when you get older. I know because it's not something you think about when you're young. I didn't. And it's not until you get older and things start to change in your skin that you really you're just like, oh, I wish I would have been doing more earlier. But protect and take care, because we're going to be ending the summer somewhat soon, getting into winter. You want to start winter with a good, healthy, in a good, healthy place with your skin. So that is it for today. So thank you for being here and joining me on another Ask Nerida Joy video. Bye.